So I wanted to show you guys my new office and what I have to offer for anyone who is interested in recording. I'll also be uploading some information on how I make the magic happen in the studio. So, welcome to the studio, Musica Religiosa Studios. I've been open since 2000, so it'll be about 11 years now, a little bit more than a decade. And I tell you, the technology has been changing, and of course, um, my recognition has been going out. So people have been coming to me, and I've been very, very happy, very blessed to have customers, and I'm hoping to have even more customers in the future. So let's see what the update has. So first of all, before we even enter the studio, let me just tell you that the studio is brand new. I've just gotten all the equipment brought into here from my home. I'm working now from where I used to work, which was a place I was renting. So this is much, much better. I get to work at home in the comfort of my home. And if I can keep the distractions down, as such as internet browsing and things like that, then I can really work really well. But I got this wall put up, and I got a nice door put in. It's not soundproof, but it keeps a lot of the traffic information out, traffic noise out. And voila, here's what we have so far. I love what I have here in my studio and how everything is working out, but let's go a little bit through an introduction of everything. I also teach out of this studio. I do a lot of my vocal teaching and piano teaching from here, but the majority of my time, of course, is producing the music. So let's show you what we got here. First of all, the centerpiece of this entire studio has done a lot of upgrade. I've gone through a lot of upgrading. The first thing I used to work on was the BR900 by Roland. Then I went up to the BR1200 by Roland. Then I went to this Roland VS-2400, which I love. The reason I love this one so much is because if any of you are familiar with the BR900, the BR900 has just two inputs, and it records to the compact disc, to a compact flash disc. But I mean, it only had, I think it was eight tracks at a time, and one of them was for drums only. It was just very limiting, but no matter what, you always start. That's my advice to anyone who wants to get into this line of work. You always start. Don't try to get the latest and greatest thing. You know, cut your teeth on something cheap, something that can just get you working. Because in this industry, you have to get the stuff done. It might be a little harder. It might take a little bit more work to get something done on something that's 8 tracks or only 6 tracks, but you'll be able to do much more once you get something like this puppy here, which has 24 tracks. But so once again, I was working on the BR900, cut my teeth on that. It was wonderful. I got some work done on that, got some money, which helped me buy the BR1200, and I did some work on that, and then was able to buy this thing. Thank you eBay, because I'm able to buy something like this, which originally cost $2,500, for a lot less. Okay, so what's wonderful about this, like I said, is that this has its own screen, a VGA monitor, and it has a keyboard and a mouse, which is unheard of on most digital digital recorders. Okay, usually you have to use a computer. Now, the reason I don't use a computer, I've been a computer technician since 1994, and for the last few years, I've really hated using a PC or a Mac for that matter, because you have to worry about upgrades constantly. You have to worry about plugins. You have to worry about buying software and making sure the software, especially on a PC, making sure the software can connect with the hardware, and it's just a mess. Even if you do get it working, I have this bad habit of wanting to play with every little plug in and every little button and everything that it can do. So your creativity kind of suffers because you're always trying to figure out what I can do next. What's the next software that I can do? What's the next update I can do? My advantage, or the advantage I have with hardware, is that although some people think it's very limiting, which it is, the limits help you with your creativity. At least it helps me. Because if I'm not busy working on or worrying about what the next upgrade is, I can just get busy recording and I can just get busy working. Okay? So this is the case with all of this. Although this has a lot more buttons than my BR900 and it's a far cry from that machine, it's still something that I can just do the same thing over and over and over again, and the buttons do the same thing. It's faster than using a mouse because I can go from here to here just by my hand. This is very tactile. Later on, when I show you how it works beautifully, it's just wonderful. It's a wonderful piece of equipment. The hardware and the software are integrated with each other, so I know it's going to work. I just plug in and go. As you can tell, I love Boss. I love rolling things. This was an upgrade from my DR3, the DR880. I love the sound that comes from this. It's just incredible. It's just incredible. Everything's laid out intuitively. I love how it works. Later on, I'll show you how that works really well. I had to get one of these, the BR. I'm sorry, not the BR. I'm already stuck on BRs. I went away from Roland for a second and I got the Zoom. I love this Zoom because I can go straight from the SD card to my computer for any projects that require going straight from recording straight to computer. The disadvantage that this has is that I have to export all my WAV files to a CDR or CDRW and then to the computer. It's a small price to pay for the beauty and the sound that comes out of this. There's no USB connectivity, and I tried the connectivity with the R bus, and it just didn't work out too well. So the CDRW is the best way to do that. So any of you who have trouble or have questions about that, I'm gonna show you how to do that in future videos. But if I have any projects that need immediate computer technician work, or if I have anybody that really needs me to just email something quickly, record something and email it quickly, then this is what I use for that. For most of my inputs, I have this Casio PX330 that I love. Casio has done a great job of upgrading and their sound modules, and I've really loved the sound. My customers love the sound that come from this. It's just been a wonderful thing. Then for input, for voice input, I have this for whoever's my vocalist on piano. I love this little mic here because it doesn't get in my way. It doesn't get in my customers' way when they're playing. Then for my more serious recording, I have this little condenser mic. Oh, by the way, that small mic is also a condenser mic. I'll tell you more specifics on that later on. And of course, you can't do well unless you can hear well. And I just upgraded to these Rockets. I love the Rockets. Translation from the studio to a car, to a radio, to anything is 500 times better than what I used to use. I used to use some Samsung, I think 4-inch monitors. I just needed to get something cheap, and I needed to get something that'll work, and that's what I started out with at the old studio. And of course I bought these, and I mean, it's just incredible. These Rockets, I mean, I can't say enough about them. It is a wonderful, wonderful piece of equipment. Now on this side is when somebody needs anything that's software wise. So here I have my Ableton working here, and of course I have Logic. I went ahead and got a Mac because I've been working with PCs, like I said, for several years, and it's just never worked out for me. I've always had problems with getting my hardware to work with my software, And if anybody ever needs anything that's complete software, or if I need to do any vocal modulations, or if I need to do anything that's software heavy, then I come to my Mac and I work on it. But I almost immediately, as soon as I finish doing the wave processing, bring it back to my Roland VS-2400, because like I'll show you later on, the sound is just incredible. So in a nutshell, that's basically what I have to work with. It's wonderful. Oh, one little piece of equipment that I have extra that I highly recommend anybody get. And then this is the art accessory here. It's the head amp 4. Basically, I could take a headphone out to this, and then it splits it into 4 headphones, so I can monitor, and then my customers can monitor. When I have choirs or anything like that, I bring a few of these and I chain them up, and it works beautifully. So highly recommended. That way you can only have to worry about monitoring or changing just one. If your customers or if you yourself want more and somebody thinks it's too loud or too low, then you can independently change their volumes. So it's just wonderful what I have here. This has been, like I said, since 2000. So I've had about a decade of experimentation and trial run and hit and miss and reading books and just all kinds of trial by error, which is the best way that I like to learn. Try by fire, so to speak. Okay. Once again, this is Roberto Matthews from Musica Religiosa Studios, and I'll be updating some more information later on. Thank you very much.